Okay. Good evening, everyone. I hope now I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening. So I guess now I am properly audible and visible. So that was the 1st April for you. Okay. That was basically the 1st April for you. So there was sound, but it was not coming. Okay. Now, so good evening and welcome again to the session. Welcome again to the session. So in the last week, we have discussed a number of topics. Okay. We have discussed somewhat about El Nino also. We have been talking about other topics also. And yes, there is one thing. Those all of you who are going for 2026 now, yes, you can start making the notes. You could have started from January itself, but even if you are starting from now, that is also fine. Okay, that is also fine that you can start making the notes now. Okay, this is already 1st of April, so you can start. Okay, now the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session, first thing is again a repetition of the same topic: warm summer, El Nino and IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, this warm summer and El Nino. In the last week, or perhaps last to last week also, we have discussed about this El Nino condition. We will revise it a little bit and then we will see about this Indian Meteorological Department also. Okay, so this is one of the topic which we are going to study. The second topic which we are going to discuss is about the Western Ghats. Okay, especially there is a news article which suggests that in the last 800 years there have been more rainfall in the regions of Western Ghats. So we will see it from the prelims factor. Okay, that what is this nature of Western Ghat, what are the ecological sensitive zones, what is the biodiversity of that area and related components. At the same time, we are going to discuss the third topic, bipolar disorder. So this is one of the topic which is more related to your prelims examination. This is one of the disorder which we are going to talk about. And then there is one important article from the mains perspective, that is the Arctic. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. One topic, the Arctic, it is going to be with respect to the mains. We will see it entirely, that what are the claims of different countries, how they are fighting for it, what the things they are like. Why am I not looking good? Like I am feeling quite well. It may be appearing different due to studio and all, but yes, I am perfectly fit and fine. Okay, then so these are the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay, now before we discuss that, there is one information for all of you. The foundation batch is going to start from 1st of April, that is today. It is available in both Hindi and English medium, and in this you are going to get this entire coverage of like prelims and mains, pre-cum mains weekly current affair classes also, essay guiding classes also, even this qualifying paper classes, daily practice test and regular doubt clearing sessions. So this is one thing which you are going to get in the sessions here, the foundation batch for 2026. So it is starting from 1st of April. Okay, so that is one thing which you all have to know. Okay. Now let us solve some questions. Let us solve some questions on the basis of the previous topics which we have read in the last week. Okay. See, this is the first question. Consider the following statement. Bandipur Tiger Reserve shares border with Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary. It is the first national park of India declared after Indian independence. It is among the 9 tiger reserves declared under Project Tiger. So these are the 3 statements. Now the question is, which of the statement given above is are correct? Is are not correct? A little bit modification, is are not correct? The question is, which of the statement given above is are not correct? Bandipur Tiger Reserve shares border with Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary. It is the first national park declared after Indian independence. It is among the 9 tiger reserves declared under Project Tiger. A option. Okay. Okay, B option, B option. I think most of the people are going for option number B. So this is my way of celebrating April Fool. Okay. Basically the statement, this one is incorrect. This one is also incorrect. Only this third one is correct. So answer should have been 1 and 2, but there is no option here. Okay. So there is no option here. So answer is 1 and 2 only. Okay. Answer here will be 1 and 2 only. Which of them are not correct? Option 1 and option 2 are not correct. It is among the 9 tiger reserves declared under the Project Tiger for the first time. So that one is correct. This 1 and 2 both are incorrect, but there is no option. So this is my way of celebrating the April Fool. Okay. So remember this one part. Option number A, that is 1 and 2 only. Okay. Now coming to the next question. Which of the following is not a non-tariff barrier? Here the first one is quota, licenses, anti-dumping duty and environmental regulations. Which of them is not a non-tariff barrier? Which of them is not a non-tariff barrier? So I have this power that I can modify anything. There was a mistake from my side, but then I can take this as part of my advantage, my authority. I can change the question nature. Can questions on boundary sharing come in prelims? Boundary sharing means this, yes, that has already been there. They ask questions about, like they have given this question about Nilgiri area especially, that which of them are part of Nilgiri or which of them share border with other national parks. So yes, this is one thing which you have to keep in mind, Rohan. So question number 2, which of the following is not a non-tariff barrier? Non-tariff barrier. Like the question is asking not a non-tariff barrier. Means 3 of them are non-tariff barriers. One of them is a non-tariff barrier. So you have to tell which of them is a non-tariff, which of them is not a non-tariff barrier. To option D. So is this a difficult question? I think this is quite easy. This is quite easy. I think you can answer this part. Option B, option D. See, if you look at this one, quotas, they are a non-tariff barrier. They are a non-tariff barrier. Like suppose that European Union, they can say that we are not going to have more than 20 kg of import of gold from India, or anyone can say that we will not have 2000 tons of wheat from India or from any other country. We will not have more than 2000 tons of wheat from any one single country. So this is type of a quota barrier, okay, that only this much can be imported. So that is a non-tariff barrier. Licenses, like suppose they are saying that only those who have obtained the license under this provision can export to a particular country. Okay, so that is also a non-tariff barrier. It is also a non-tariff barrier. Then they can also impose this environmental regulation that if you are using coal for making a particular type of product, we will not import your goods. So that is also a type of non-tariff barrier. Okay, anti-dumping duty. This is a tariff barrier. This is a kind of tariff barrier. We are imposing a tariff. Let's say that India has imposed a tariff barrier of 115%. on 5 of the Chinese goods which are imported in India. So that is a tariff. That is a tariff of 115%. So this is what we call as tariff barrier, and non-tariff where there is no change in the rate, but according to different methods we are hindering the import of a particular thing. So this is an example of tariff barrier. The other three, they are non-tariff barrier. Question is asking not a non-tariff barrier, the answer is C option. Coming to question number 3, consider the following statement with respect to permafrost. Permafrost thawing releases greenhouse gas emission. In mountainous region, permafrost thawing may lead to outburst flood. Permafrost thawing decreases the albedo effect. How many of the statements given above are incorrect? This is question number 3 with respect to permafrost. Happy birthday, Shiv Shankar. If it is really a birthday. Anyways, even if you want to make April Fool, then still happy birthday. You can give me party, I will not mind. So what will be the answer here? After knowing answer of the question looks easy. Of course, like when you have read something, then all the questions will seem easy. Okay, B option, C option, D option, B option. See, if we look at this question again, permafrost thawing releases greenhouse gas emission, that is correct. Whenever there is melting of the permafrost, there will be release of the greenhouse gases which are trapped inside it. So first one is of course correct. In mountainous region, permafrost thawing may lead to outburst flood. So again here what we see that, suppose when we are talking about the Himalayan region, the thawing of the permafrost may increase in the water level of the lakes, and this can cause outburst flood, as we have seen in case of Sikkim, in case of other areas. Okay. So this second option is also correct. Permafrost thawing decreases the albedo effect. So that is also correct. Whenever there is thawing of permafrost, the white layer, the white snowing layer, that is over, and then there will be a reduced albedo. Means the albedo, the reflection of sunlight, will be less. So this third option is also correct. The question is asking how many of them are incorrect. So answer will be option number D. The answer will be option number D. The question is asking in bold and capital how many of the statements given above are incorrect. So answer is option number D, because all these three statements are correct here. Okay. So that is option number D here. Yeah. Now, so let's start our topic. Let's start our topic. The first topic is about warm summer, El Nino and Indian Meteorological Department. Okay. So recently there was this report of IMD. It says that, like in case of India, the current summer season is going to be a warmer one. We are going to experience a warm summer in this year. That is one prediction. Second thing is, like El Nino, whether it is going to set in India or not, so that is not clear. That whether we are going to have El Nino or not, that may be declared in upcoming 1 or 2 weeks. And then we also have to know about this Indian Meteorological Department, which has completed 150 years. So these are the three things which we are going to discuss as part of this article. Okay. So see here, first thing is summer said to be warmer. Now in this context, we have to first discuss this one part. There is one thing called as heat wave. There is one thing called as heat wave. Okay. Yeah, I will come to that question, Apspa. I will come to that question. there is one thing called as heat wave. Okay. Now see, what is called as a heat wave? In what situation we will declare a particular thing as a heat wave? This is what can be asked in the prelims exam. You can get a question on this, that in what situation we are saying something to be heat wave. So remember this one part, heat wave is declared if the temperature is more than 45 degrees Celsius. Okay. The first condition is if the temperature exceeds 45 degrees Celsius, then we call that as a heat wave. Or if temperature rise is 5 degrees Celsius above the normal temperature, above the average normal temperature of a region. Means there are two conditions. First thing is, if temperature is exceeding 45 degrees Celsius, then it is called as a heat wave. Or second condition is there. Suppose that, let us understand this by a very common example. Let us say we are talking about Prayagraj. Okay. Let us say we are talking about Prayagraj. Okay. And in month of April, let us say from 1st to 15th April, in previous year, let us say that from 1 to 15th April, the average temperature was, let us say 35 degrees Celsius. Average temperature was 35 degrees Celsius. But in this year, during the same time period, if the temperature exceeds 35 degrees Celsius by 5 degrees Celsius, means if it becomes 40 degrees Celsius, if it becomes 40 degrees Celsius, then that will be considered as an excess warm period, and that will be considered as a heat wave in this situation. If the average temperature of this area was supposed to be 35, but it has exceeded 40 degrees Celsius, then we will call that as a heat wave. Or in general, if it is exceeding 45 degrees Celsius, then it is called as a heat wave. Now, Indian Meteorological Department, it has said that in 2025, it has said this part, that in 2025, we are going to have around 10 heat wave days, 10 days of heat wave. We are going to have 10 days of heat wave. Okay. Last year, this was around 6 to 7 days. In 2024, it was around 6 to 7 days. But this year, it is going to be around this 10 days of heat waves. So that is one part. First, we have known what is considered as a heat wave. So that was first part of this information. Second thing, what we say as this El Nino and La Nina. In last class also we have seen, if the temperature is exceeding in this region near the coast of South America, if it is exceeding in this region near the coast of South America or Central and Eastern Pacific, then we call that as El Nino. If temperature exceeds 0.5 degrees Celsius near South American coast, so this is what we call as El Nino. This is what we call as El Nino. Okay. Now, what is the impact of monsoon? What is the impact of El Nino on monsoon? We have 2 years. We have this data of 2 years. There is this data of 2023. There is this data of 2023. This was considered as a El Nino year. This was considered as a El Nino year. So here what we saw that -6% rainfall. sorry, means decrease in rainfall or deficit of 6%. Rain deficit was 6%. Means suppose if we were supposed to get 100 centimeter of rainfall, then we got only 94 centimeter. If suppose the average rainfall is 100 centimeter, so we got only 94 centimeter. So that was 2023. Okay. Then what we see that 2024, it was not La Nina. It was not entirely La Nina. It was a neutral condition. It was a neutral condition. And in this scenario, what we say that 8% surplus rain, 8% surplus rainfall. So now you are having some data also here. Suppose when you are writing in the mains answer, you can quote these data as part of the IMD. Okay, that in 2023, when we had this El Nino year, there was 6% less rainfall, and in 2024, when there was neutral condition, it was 8% surplus rainfall. So that is one part, how rainfall is impacted due to El Nino. Okay, so this is second part. Now we are coming to the third part of it, the Indian Meteorological Department, IMD. So this Indian Meteorological Department, it was established in 1875. This was established in 1875. And we have discussed about this organization many a times. It is responsible for giving all the sort of weather information in India. Okay, from disaster management to all other agricultural planning and every other thing, this organization is involved. Whatever depends on weather or climate, that is like influenced by this IMD, Indian Meteorological Department. If there is air over India, IMD will tell us about it. If there is cloud over India, IMD will tell us about it. Okay. So in the recent time, this IMD has got two initiatives. Okay. It has got two of these initiatives. Okay. There is one called as WAVE. There is one initiative called as WAVE. This is this one initiative which is called as WAVE, Weather Analysis and Forecast Enabling System. Weather Analysis and Forecast Enabling System. And Forecast Enabling System. So this Weather Analysis and Forecast Enabling System, it is based on this concept of Panch Mahabhut. It is based on this concept of Panch Mahabhut, water, fire, earth, air and Akash or sky. Okay. So it is based on this concept of Panch Mahabhut. Okay. Water also, fire also, air also, Akash also, earth also. Okay. So this is one part, like why we have got this wave system. It is related to this weather analysis and forecast enabling system for all of these components. And then we have another thing, Panchayat Mausam Seva Portal. We have the second initiative, the Panchayat Mausam Seva Portal. So under this Panchayat Mausam Seva Portal, under this what we will see that, yes, what we will see that the IMD, this will give the message, it will give the message to Panchayat Secretary. It will give this message to the Panchayat Secretary that they will be getting this information. They will be getting this information which they can announce in the village. You may have seen that Panchayat series that when open defecation was checked in that Panchayat, how they have announced using the speakers of the that village. in the same manner they can also inform the villagers that what is going to be the situation of weather over the next 7 days or the next 24 hours. Okay. In some areas, like suppose when we are talking about the coastal regions of India, let's say Odisha or Andhra Pradesh or Tamil Nadu. So you know that in these areas we are having cyclonic formation. So in that you have to inform the villagers that okay, in the next 24 hours this cyclone may intensify. You have to take shelter. You have to safeguard yourself during the next 24 hours. So for giving that information, we have this Panchayat Mausam Seva portal. Also in general, for giving the information about agriculture and all, this Panchayat Mausam Seva portal can be used. So that's why we are having the image of Panchayat Sachiv. Okay. So these three things are there. First, El Nino, heat wave and the IMD. It's two initiative. The one is wave and the other one is Panchayat Mausam Seva portal. I hope this first part is clear. I hope this first topic is clear. What is this IMD, El Nino and heat wave? Now, coming to the second topic, that is with respect to the Western Ghats. Okay. Now, see at this article, it is suggesting that there has been a significant increase in the monsoon rainfall in this Western Ghats over the past 800 years. Okay. This report is saying that we have got a significant increase in the monsoon in this Western Ghats region. So let us talk a little bit about this Western Ghats region. Okay. If we talk about the Western Ghats, you know that these are continuous ranges of mountains running along the western stretch of India. Running along western stretch of India. Okay. So from Tamil Nadu and Kerala to Gujarat, we have got this Western Ghats. This Western Ghat is also responsible for orographic rainfall. There is one thing called as convectional rainfall and there is one thing called as orographic rainfall. Can you tell me what is the difference? There is one thing which we call as convectional rainfall and another thing called as orographic rainfall. So what is the difference there? What is the difference between this orographic and convectional rainfall? Environment classes, like we are going to have environment classes very soon, and even in revision series we are going to start with the revision of environment. So there also I will tell you a number of things. Okay. So can you tell me the difference? See, when suppose a mountain is there and the rain is like the wind is ascending over here. Wind is ascending over here and then there is a rainfall. So this type of rainfall is what we call as orographic. This type of rainfall is called as orographic. Okay. So this barrier is there in form of a mountain. This mountain creates a barrier due to which the air is rising above. So air is rising above, then it condenses and leads to the rainfall. So in Western Ghats region, we are having the orographic rainfall, and convectional is like there is convectional currents or the air winds are rising up, they are ascending up and they will cool down and cause rainfall. So in tropical regions, in equatorial region, we see this convectional rainfall. In mountainous regions, we see this orographic rainfall. Okay. So here we see that Western Ghat, it is causing this orographic rainfall. Now one more question here. If we talk about the Western Ghat, like how many states we have Western Ghats? In how many states we have this Western Ghats? Rainfall occur due to barrier and convectional due to altitude. Okay, means convectional is air is rising above and that causes the rainfall. Yes, Umesh, you will be getting the PDF. Don't worry about it. You will get the PDF in Telegram. Okay, in the KGS IAS English channel, you will get the PDF of it. Tell me about this. In how many states we have this Western Ghats? Six states. Okay, name them. Like we can start it from Gujarat. Okay, first we have Gujarat, then we have Maharashtra, then we have this Maharashtra, then we have Goa, then we have Karnataka, then we also have Kerala, and we also have Tamil Nadu. Plus, you can also count Puducherry. You can also count a little bit of Puducherry. Okay. So we have this 5 states and 1 union territory. See, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. These are the 6 states from where the Western Ghat is passing through. Okay. And then you can also count Puducherry, a smaller territory. There also we can see that there is influence of the Western Ghat. Or you can like remove this part, but at least these 6 states you have to keep in mind. Okay, that it is passing through 6 states over here, from Gujarat to Maharashtra to Goa, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. These are the regions through which our Western Ghat is passing through. Okay. Now, if you look at the Western Ghats, you will see that there are 3 coastal areas which are also very much prominent. In the Gujarat, we have this Kathiawar coast. Here we are having this Kathiawar coast. Kathiawar. Then we have this Konkan coast. And we are also having this Malabar coast. In the Eastern Ghat side, we have the Coromandel, Andhra coast and Utkal coast. So here we are having Coromandel, Andhra and Utkal coast on the eastern side. On the western side, we have Kathiawar, Konkan and Malabar coast. Okay. See, this Western Ghat, it is also sometimes called as, the Western Ghat, they are also sometimes called as Sahyadris. The Sahyadris. Okay. Especially in Maharashtra region, it is called as Sahyadris. Okay. So these are the first one important information about the Western Ghat region. Now see one more thing here. When we are talking about this region, you will find one thing. This is the part of Western Ghat. See here, this is the part of Western Ghat. It is almost continuous. It is almost entirely continuous range. On the other side, if we look at the Eastern Ghats, you will find that various smaller blocks are there. So Eastern Ghat is a discontinuous range. Eastern Ghat is a discontinuous range. Western Ghat is a continuous range from Gujarat and Maharashtra to Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So it is a almost entirely continuous range. Okay. So this is another important part about Western Ghat. Okay. So what we see here, Western Ghat is continuous. Western Ghat is continuous range. Okay. Now, one more important part. There are certain ecological sensitive zones which has been declared by the government. In this entire area, there are certain zones which has been declared as ecological sensitive zone. In Karnataka, it is 20,668 square kilometer. In Maharashtra, it is 17,340. In Kerala, 9,993, Tamil Nadu, 6,914, Goa, 1461 and Gujarat, 449. So from here also you can get the idea, we have 6 different areas, 6 different states through which the Western Ghat is passing through, and these are the ecologically sensitive zones of this area. Ecologically sensitive zones are those where construction activities, industrial activities, they are regulated and to somewhat prohibited also. Okay. So here we see that this is the ecological sensitive zone where construction, construction, industrial and mining activities are controlled, strictly regulated and prohibited also. And prohibited to certain extent. Just tell me one thing. Government has notified this ecological sensitive zone on the advice of which committee? Government has notified this ecologically sensitive zone on the recommendation of which committee? That is quite important. Like which committee has recommended this? Like government has accepted the recommendation of which committee? Which committee has recommended about this? Like there were two committees which has recommended. So government has accepted one of the committee. So which one is that? Government has accepted the recommendation of one of the committee. There were two committees here. One committee was, yes, one committee was this Swaminathan committee. It recommended almost 2/3 to 3/4 of area to be declared as ecological sensitive zones, but it was not accepted. Okay, sorry, yes, Madhav Gadgil, sorry, not Swaminathan, Madhav Gadgil committee. He has also won this prize, United Nations Environment Program Champions of the Environment Award. Last year, Madhav Gadgil has received this Champions of the Earth Award, Lifetime Achievement Award to Madhav Gadgil. Last year it was given. Okay, so he has recommended almost 2/3 to 3/4 area of Western Ghat to be declared as ecological sensitive zone, but it was not accepted. There was a Kasturi Rangan committee which again suggested a little bit lesser area to be declared as ecological sensitive zone, and government has accepted its recommendation. Okay, so remember this, it is on the basis of Kasturi Rangan committee. Kasturi Rangan committee. We have also Madhav Gadgil report. He has also won this United Nations Environment Program Lifetime Achievement. In last year, in 2024 itself, he has got this Lifetime Achievement Program Award. Madhav Gadgil, he has got this Lifetime Achievement Champions of the Earth Award from United Nations Environment Program. Okay, so this was another information with respect to the Western Ghat. Okay, one more thing here. If we talk about the Western Ghat, you can see there are 140 mammal species, 510 bird species, 260 reptile species, 180 amphibian species. Okay, and this consists of near about 25% of India's biodiversity. This Western Ghat region, it accounts for nearly 25% of India's biodiversity. Okay, and you will find that from like every year new species are being discovered in this Western Ghat region. So 140 mammal species, 510 bird species, 180 amphibian and 260 reptile species. Okay, so this is one part which we know about the Western Ghat. Okay, Ashutosh, I will talk about this. Okay, if you are having challenges in economics, just give me one day time. Tomorrow I will try to incorporate some of the suggestions for economics, that what you can do at the end of it. Okay, so I will properly give you some topics which you can study, and that will help you in the exam. Okay, so this is one thing. Western Ghat, how many species, how committees were formed, the ecological sensitive zones also in this area. Okay, now coming to the next topic, there is one thing called as bipolar disorder. So anyone, can you tell me what is this bipolar disorder? Okay, Ashutosh, I will give you some topic list both from current and static which you can use for economics. Okay, so don't worry about it. Tell me about this part. Bipolar disorder. What is this bipolar disorder? And like, this is a prelims related topic, but a very important and sensitive topic. So what is this? Have you heard about this bipolar disorder? See, basically it is a disorder related to mental health. Okay, it is a disorder related to mental health of the people. Okay, now in this bipolar disorder, there are two phases. There are two phases. Okay, one is the major depressive order. Okay, a major depressive disorder. And then there is hypomania also. Okay, so there are two things here. There are two parts of here. There is one part which is major depressive disorder. Okay, so when a person is going through this phase, like both these things are seen in a person. So when a person is going through this phase of depressive disorder, so that person will be very much in a depressive state. The person will always be feeling this sadness. Okay, like there is this phase, a person will be feeling sad or hopeless. Okay, there will be like the food or the appetite, means the urge to eat something, that is also going to change. Okay, like this major depressive order, there can be suicidal thoughts also among the people. Okay, there will be loss of energy, there will be a fatigue state also, means the person will always be feeling tired. Okay, then this is also like memory and concentration, that will also not be in a very good state. So this is one of the challenge when the person is suffering from this. They are feeling hopeless, they are feeling sad in their life, their appetite, sometimes they want to eat too much. Okay, at the same time there can be also suicidal thought among the people if they are facing this major depressive order. That is also a challenge. Okay, then on the other hand, there is a stage of hypomania. Okay, in this hypomania stage, the person can be overly happy for long period of time, means the person can be happy for any reason. They are over happy, means they are like too much excited about the things. They are too much excited about the things even when the matter is not that significant. Okay, then can also be like talking very fast. They can be having multiple ideas coming from like all parts. So the person will still face the problem to concentrate on one thing. The person will be having many ideas, but he will not be able to concentrate on one part. Okay, he or she will not be able to concentrate on one part. So that is also a challenge. There is like the person can become easily distracted. Okay, there can be overconfidence in the person. There can also be this overconfidence that yes, I can do this, I can do any work at any point of time. Okay, then there can also be like risky behavior. Person can think that, okay, I can do anything. They can, like in some of the people, like suppose they can go for rash driving also. They can think that I can control my bike, I can control my vehicle in any situation. So there can be rash driving also. There can be rash decisions also, or like those decisions which can harm the person as well. Okay. So there may be overconfidence, rash decisions, lack of concentration, over happiness, overconfidence. So that is the part of hypomania. The person may not be also able to sleep as well. The person may not be able to sleep as well. So this is a bipolar disorder. Means the same person can be going through these stages. Sometimes too much happy, sometimes too much sad. Now this one is a genetic disorder. This is considered as a genetic disorder. But the thing is, the doctors have not been able to identify the gene which is responsible for this. Okay. So there is the second challenge. The gene has not been identified yet. The gene has not been identified yet. So that is one of the major challenge. The gene has not been identified yet. Okay. There is a third issue, that this disorder is not seen from the childhood. It develops over a time, and the people are unaware of this situation. People are unaware of this situation. Sometimes you may have seen that some people are overly happy. They are too much excited, too much distracted from things. But generally, people don't relate it that they may be having some issue. They may be having some mental issue. People generally think that they have not got good rearing. Their parents may not be controlling them. Sometimes you may see that some of the children, they are too much excited. They are like too much confident, too much excited, too much volatile. But then people think that perhaps their parents are not controlling them, or parents are not taking care of them. They are not slapping the children. So that's why they are becoming that much of overexcited or volatile. Okay. But this may be actually a problem of bipolar disorder. So there is another part, lack of awareness. Lack of awareness. And then there is always an issue in our society. If there is any mental health, issue, people always relate it that now that person is not mentally fit. Okay. So any mental health challenge is seen in a common perception. People believe that if someone is going to a psychiatrist, then he is crazy. Okay. So that is a general perception of the society. Okay. So this social stigma is also one of the major factor. Social stigma. So due to which many of the people, they are not even getting the treatment for this. And there is no such medicine that if a person consumes it, then throughout the life there won't be a challenge. This needs a proper care, proper evaluation of the problem, and then giving the solution in a slow manner. It cannot be done overnight that just take a paracetamol and all your problems will be gone. So it is not a PCM type of challenge. It requires a continuous long time intervention. Okay. So this is one such bipolar disorder which was there in the news. March 30 is celebrated as that day for bipolar disorder. So that's why it was there in the newspapers also. Okay. So this is our third topic. Now coming to the last one, Arctic. Yes, flight of ideas is also there, correct? Okay. Flight of ideas is also there. Now this is our last topic, the tension in the Arctic region. Okay. So see, just to give you a context, this is 2009, this is 2019. So this tells you about the state of Arctic. There is one thing called as polar amplification. There is one term which is called as polar amplification. This says that the impact of global warming in the polar regions is higher as compared to the tropical or temperate regions. Okay. So this is one thing. We see that the impact of global warming, in polar regions, this is much more higher as compared to tropical regions. So global warming is happening throughout the world, but the impact is more prominent in the polar regions. But there is another part which is called as Arctic amplification. So it says that global warming impact is more in Arctic as compared to Antarctic. So it says that this global warming impact, it is more in Arctic as compared to Antarctic. So there are two terms which you have to keep in mind: polar amplification and Arctic amplification. You can see the impact. This is the image of 2009, and this is a comparative. It's not that the actual image is like this, but this is a demarcation that how the things are going to change, or how the things are already changing. Okay, this is just a representation that how it used to be there in 2009 and how it is there in 2019. And then in 2029, it can be entirely a river or a lake or a sea. So this is what we see in Arctic. Now, there is another part of it. There is a difference between Arctic and Antarctic. In the case of Antarctic, what we see that it is protected by international treaty. Antarctic, if we talk about the Antarctic, it is protected by international treaty. This one is protected by international treaty. So there is no militarization of Antarctic. There is this no militarization of Antarctic. But when we talk about the Arctic, it is governed by United Nations Convention on Law of the Sea. Okay, this Antarctic, it is considered as a global common. So there are special, there is various initiatives for protecting the Antarctic. But when we talk about the Arctic, it has not got any such support. It has not got any such deal. It is just being protected by the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Okay, so Arctic, this Arctic, it is governed by, United Nations Convention on Law of Sea. Okay, and you know that under this convention, there is option like up to 200 nautical miles, there is exclusive economic zone. Okay, so all the countries who are there, they are getting 200 nautical miles of exclusive economic zones. In that, they can go for seabed exploration, they can go for resource extraction and many other things. Okay, so this is one part. Now think about this. In the present time, when we see that global warming is already reaching at a threshold level, we are already behind all the targets for reversing back the climate change. In this era, there are countries like China, Russia, they are making such ships which can break the ice for the easy navigation of their ships. Okay, in this time, they are making nuclear powered submarines or nuclear powered ships which can break the ice so that their ships can easily navigate through the Arctic region. Okay, So this is like how the countries are planning for the global warming. Okay. So here what we see that if we are talking about this region, Arctic, why there is so much interest? Why is so much interest? If we look at this region, why there is so much interest in the Arctic region? What is the reason behind this? Okay. The reason is, here we are having resource. Here we are having resources, okay, like polymetallic nodules, fossil fuels. They are like in a significant amount in this area. Okay. So what we see that polymetallic nodules, rare earth elements, even the fossil fuels. There was this report from United States agency. It says that there is 13% oil of the world in this region and 30% of the natural gas. Okay. So here what we see that 13% of undiscovered oil and 30% of untapped natural gas. So this is why the countries have become so much interested. The countries have become so much interested in this area. Okay. Yes, there is one more very important point. Just see here. Yes, it has the widest continental shelf, and the United Nations Convention on Law of the Sea permits the country to extend the exclusive economic zone if the continental shelf is extended to longer ranges. Okay. So this can be extended by the countries, if continental shelf is longer. Okay. Means if continental shelf is going beyond these 200 nautical miles, then the countries can extend their exclusive economic zone. So there is a United Nations Convention on Law of Sea which talks about the sustainable development of the sea, and this itself permits the country to extend their exclusive economic zones beyond this 200 nautical miles. Okay. So this shows the greed of the world leaders and the countries of the world. Okay. Yes, these things are found beneath the Arctic Sea. These things are believed to be present near this Arctic Sea. According to this United States Geospatial Agency, there is 13% of undiscovered oil and 30% of untapped natural gas which is there in Arctic. Now there is another part here. That is navigation and militarization. See, China, it has said that it is a Arctic state. It has called itself as a near Arctic state. It has called it at itself. It has automatically itself declared that China is a near Arctic state. So it has also claim over this region. US is also claiming over region. Russia is also claiming over the region. Greenland is there. Denmark is there. Norway is there. These countries, Canada is there. They are also like claiming over this part of Arctic Sea. They have formed the Arctic Council also. But it is not about preserving. It is about the use of the Arctic region. Okay. So now they are seeing this area as a potential for navigation. They are looking at this as a potential for like navigation. Plus, we see that US, it has declared the intent purchase Greenland. US, Russia, China, they all are like aiming to militarize and control Arctic. So while the Earth is losing the Arctic ice, the sea levels are rising, there is a change in like global pressure belts and everything. There are countries who are still trying to control this area in terms of military, in terms of economy, trying to maximize their gain. While on other hands, many other countries are losing because there is a change in Arctic. Arctic is going to impact the pressure belt all over the world. It is most of the land masses which are there in the northern hemisphere. They are going to be impacted if there is a change in the Arctic ice. And we see that already this change is happening. So this is going to reduce the rainfall and all in our regions. Okay. So that's why this Arctic is emerging as one of the main challenge, and countries are simply fighting for gaining the territory, gaining the military rights and gaining the navigation rights. I hope that is clear. On large ice, no, they are not present over the ice, they are present in the ocean, they are present in this Arctic Sea. Like beneath the sea floor also, there is so much of resources. Like suppose when we are talking about the Arabian Sea or Bay of Bengal, so at the floor of the sea, there is various resources which are present there. The countries are willing to explore those resources. Comment show nahi ho raha. Your comment is being displayed here. There may be some issue, like try doing it later. Sometimes YouTube has its own policy. No one knows what YouTube is doing. Okay, so that will be all for today. Okay, so we have discussed these 4 topics: Arctic, we have discussed about the bipolar disorder, we have also seen about this like topic of Western Ghat and El Nino, IMD and heat wave. Okay, so let's meet then tomorrow. Any question, any doubt, any topic about economy, I will tell you tomorrow. COP के key outcomes कहाँ से पता करो? Rohan, last year in 2024, there was no such major outcomes of COP, but we will revise it. Like tomorrow we will see something with respect to economy, and then after we will discuss this part of COP also. Okay, but there was no such major outcome last year. The different countries met, they had their coffee, snacks and everything, and then they decided they will meet next year. Joshi, we are having like the PDF of this uploaded on the KGS IAS Telegram channel, so you can download it from there. Okay, so thank you for the session, thank you for attending the session. Let's meet tomorrow and we will discuss the remaining things. Thank you, take care, all the best. Thank you.